And now we're going into the fourth map. It is Heavy Rain, as already mentioned. Zerg versus Protoss once again. Starting to the bottom of the map, we have Elfi starting for Protoss and Finland. He's currently down one map in the best of 5 series here against his Zerg opponent. Starting for Evil Genius. Kerrigan and the Swarm to the top of the map in blue. We have Jaedong dominating the game on Frost. Winning on Polar Knight as well. But losing to Elfi on the second map, losing on Yonsu. Let's see what he can do on Heavy Rain. The fourth map in the series. So far we saw him opening things up with a hatch first. And of course, very important also what Elfi is going to do. Playing that laid-back style and really playing defensive didn't work out for him too well. Maybe on this map we will see a little bit more aggression. It worked well on Yonsu, might work on Heavy Rain too.
Yeah. And it looks like hatchery first once again for Jaedong. The only map where he didn't do it is on Frost just now, and that's because many Protosses will do Forge first or Nexus first, choosing for a more macro-oriented style. But if you suddenly see someone went for hatchery first, and you've already got the Forge anyway, might as well build a few macro cannons at the Zerg base, right? Cancel that hatchery to get that kind of lead. So Jaedong once again going back to his roots and getting that hatchery first. I expect a pretty similar style from Elfi here in the beginning. He'll make that Nexus, Mothership Core, third pylon down the ramp, get 3 gateways, maybe with a Stargate, maybe without. We saw him do it once, the Oracle opener, and it didn't work that well. It was on Polar Knight. I wonder if he feels like it's time to bring that one out again, because he might want to, make it work once at least.
Yeah, it could definitely be the winning move for him there, because in the game that you just mentioned, it really didn't come through for him. And if he gets just a few early kills against Jaedong's economy, that might be exactly what he needs here to really just get himself in a position where he's the one who just suddenly put pressure on Jaedong. Because what the EG player was able to make work every single time right now is just to be the one that is a little bit ahead, that always has like either the aggression going for him or that counters every single move that Elfi put out there. And I'm really interested to see what Elfi decides to do in this game. Because this, for him, this has to be win. If he loses here, he's going into that consolation match where he, of course, doesn't want to play. It would be amazing for him to go up into the second group stage as the first player in the group.
That's right. Nexus being made, a Zealot, Mothership Core is already out, defending that front there. One fun little trick you can do with Mothership Core is to go to the Zerg base directly, and you can actually usually kill a drone or two, but it's a little risky. It's okay when the Zerg is just making drones, but if they have some links and that run into your base, yeah, it's not a risk you usually want to take. So generally, it just defends the natural there.
Yeah, it's a little bit risky when the Zerg is called Jaedong.
Yes, definitely. Or Leenock or something. Okay.
Well, we have actually the result from the other match in the group. Kung Fu Panda, the young German player, was not able to take the series against Apocalypse, was actually defeated with an 0-3. A 15-year-old Protoss not really in a position to really take the victory there. Which means that if Elfi loses to Jaedong, we would see the rematch between Apocalypse and himself.
Okay, so his Kung Fu wasn't good enough for Apocalypse.
Yeah, not today.
Any other interesting results?
Well, we have Stardust and San advancing out of Group 5. The two Zerg players here, Tefel and Protoss, are already dropping out. In Group 4, we have Johnny Recco already out of the tournament, and currently Harstim is playing against Snoo to determine the second player to move out of the group into the second group stage together with Deer, who already advanced. And Kras was actually able to take down Red in the final match in Group 8. So for GG and Kras, the two Terran players advanced to the second group phase, whereas Red drops down or drops out of the tournament, and Naniwa, of course, being the fourth, he didn't even attend, and therefore not being a factor. A
good day for the Terrans then. In the meantime, two Zerglings got in and killed 2 probes. We have a third base for Jaedong ready. Does Elfi know about it? He doesn't know. Many Zergs take the third here in the middle, and Protoss can get blindsided. I've had a game just like this, where I thought, oh, they're not taking a third. Oh my god, too many Zerglings got in.
And he actually loses a lot here. He lost the first and the second sentry, and now those speedlings are in. And that's not only horrible because they could snipe another set of like probes here, probes. We could also have, of course, the scouting information, and he's going just straight for, and oh my god, he can get in again. He's going for that sentry. He kills the 3rd sentry already, and that's just absolutely horrible news. The Zealot going down against the Lings. They could try to snipe that gateway now as well to just make sure that the wall is completely breached. The Lings are gonna get in here, and this is spelling disaster for elfi here.
Yeah, he's again supply blocked at 52 supply, just like every game, and he hasn't started a pylon or noticed it yet. Lost his gateway now. War Prism is being made. It'll probably get spotted at this rate. And all the while, elfi thinks at least it's 2 base versus 2 base, right?
Yeah, he still has the unit over there and trying to spot for the 3rd, and he has absolutely no idea. He's working on the completely false assumptions, and for him...
He's going to get supply blocked again.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't be worse at this point. Jaedong on 3 bases, going to roaches, dominating the pace of the game already. elfi supply blocked, losing all those sentries. That's a lot of gas invested, completely scouted by his opponent too.
And he makes 1 pylon when he's at 52 out of 60.
Yeah, that's not going to help him too much.
Not that much yet. War Prism is on the way, and basically what elfi was trying here is probably doing some kind of War Prism sentry lock on the main ramp. But he has 0 sentries. He is supply blocked. He's going to lose another pylon, and he'll be supply blocked again. And the War Prism is getting to the main base, but cannot warp in. Also, he only has 3 gateways. So, not looking good.
Yeah,
they saved the pylon.
The roaches just spawned, and that is, of course, not really a big great news for the Zealots here. I mean, they can take down a few of the Harvesters, but it's not going to be worth it.
Yeah, he killed 3 drones. I don't think that's enough.
No, not really. I mean, if you look at the Harvester count, it's 57 against 46, and that's a 2-base saturation against a 3-base saturation. To me, it makes things even worse. In total, elfi, if you look at the supply count, is only 20 behind his opponent, but it's just the tech advantage that we also have going for Jaedong here. So he has full vision of everything that elfi is doing, and at the same time, he is dominating the pace of the game. Really great match here for Jaedong and elfi. I don't know what he can do, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's decided that what he can do is take a 3rd, get Twilight Council, Immortal, slow play it, deciding that any all-in is doomed to failure at this point. What I wonder with, with the missile attacks and the infestation pit, Swarmhouse seemed likely. It's just that I'd never seen Jaedong do it yet, but it does look like he's going to do that. And this is the perfect map for it. I mentioned before that it's pretty good to do it on Yonsu, but this one even better. It's a great map for
that
Swarmhouse.
3rd base is just so exposed that with Swarmhouse you can do really a lot, and especially you have like 2 ways to engage that 3rd, and if one of them really is occupied by Swarmhouse, then the Protoss player is always a little bound to neglect that 2nd way where you can just sneak in with roaches and try to get into the natural, for example. So that is so much pressure coming out of Jaedong here, and he's really playing the safe. He wants to advance to the next stage of the tournament. He knows that this is the map where he can just claim victory, and if he takes it, it would mean another 3-1 victory over elfi after he already won against the Protoss player at the last ASUS ROG.
No, I really... Don't you think it's a bit too safe or slow play going for Swarmhouse? Didn't he have a big lead and could maybe just finish it with attacking? But that's a risky way of thinking too, I guess.
The thing is, like, what kind of tech does he have? You know, he's mainly relying on the Roach tech, and with the Immortals that we already have for elfi, I think it would have been too risky.
Yeah, even like Roach Hydra push could be risky.
Yeah, and does he have the Hydra then, actually? Because I don't think he does, yeah. So
no, but I mean, I guess he could have chosen Hydra then instead of Pit, but yeah, definitely it's a very safe way of playing. And if he doesn't get too impetuous with the way he uses them, just using them in the proper defensive way, this should be looking very good for him. Good thing for elfi, what he's got going, is that he's got double robo facilities. He can make a lot of Colossi, which once you get like 6, they can start advancing against Locust waves. But Corruptors will force them to fall back once again, and then the game goes really long.
The thing is, I agree with you, though. I think he could have tried to contest that 3rd. Because that was the 3rd base where elfi really did have a lack of units, and I think he could have tried to contest that. But he decides to play just like this. And these are the 2 ways that I talked about earlier. Lings are getting in, and there's no force field. Oh, well, it's way too late. Suddenly Zerglings in the main base. That's always bad news, and that allows Jaedong to just get, once again, his tech up. He has now the time to get the Spire into play. He starts 2-2, distracts his opponent, and opens up a new path of attack. Even kills that Twilight Council. What does that mean? That Oh wow, Elfi actually got the Temple Archive in before it died.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's good news. That's really good. I
it.
was just about to say that it's going to be like a huge delay on Storm, but he just started that in time before the Twilight Council died.
Yeah,
so that
right.
was well done.
So we have an observer with the main army of Elfi as these locusts are now starting to flow into the third. Force fields being put in defensive position of his army, but the locusts are still fighting. Let's see, can Elfi push away these Swarmos here from their very advanced position? He's choosing just to keep them out for now. He's only got 2 Colossi with 2 more coming in and no range upgrade, so wise decision to just play it defensively for now. And Jaedong feels the storm over his head and decides to move back his Swarmos, which is a wise decision. 12 Corruptors coming out. Oh no, Zergling's coming into the base again.
This is kind of the theme of the game, I have to say. Like, we saw so many Zerglings already going through that wall, and now they're starting to take down the Harvest account. It's just like you are distracting your opponent so much. He has to commit a lot of time and effort to really go back into his base, defend against the Lings in the main, and the natural. But we have to the top left also a little bit of an attack going on by Elfi, who had a few units in there in the main, but that were already cleared out by the roaches that we just saw there a second ago. And Jaedong doesn't waste time to go into Hive. It's not a 12-minute Hive that we see oftentimes by the Zerg players in the matchup. It's a lot later than that, but it's really just him putting out one step after another. Finishing 2-2, getting Hive in the lane, getting a 4th base, a 5th base, and he's still pressuring Elfi. Elfi, I feel, except for those warp-ins with the Warp Prison, did never really cross the middle of the map.
Yeah, and it will be very hard to do that in the next 10 minutes as well. Corruptors now on the map. There's not too many Stalkers here, no Void Rays, so if he just waits for Roaches or Locust waves, he can actually just move in with the Corruptors and start taking down Colossi, even if he gets shot at.
And those Corruptors and also the Swarmos that we see there make it nearly impossible for Elfi to move and defend the 4th base that he was trying to get there.
Yeah.
He can't move units over there. Once he does, he exposes the Colossi to the Void Ray, to the Corruptors, and he exposes his 3rd to the Locust, so he has to stick around. And now from every angle, Jaedong is moving in, using Corruption, sniping those Colossi. The Archons trying to move in. At the same time, we have a few Roaches there, and those Swarm hosts getting into position once again, while Jaedong not only completes his Hive tech, but now it starts to... Actually, the Roaches got a little bit jealous there. They were like, the Zerglings are having all the fun, we want to have a shot too.
What's this party everyone's been talking about?
And Jaedong is like, okay, alright guys, you get your shot.
Okay, they just got thrown out by the bouncer.
Yeah. They got thrown out here, but that's also true for those Colossi. And losing the Colossi in this position is just absolutely horrible for him because he needs them against the Locusts.
Yeah, only 3 Colossi left with 2 more on the way, just getting started. We'll take down no more just yet. Very meticulous about not flying over Archons, which is probably a smart thing to do.
The thing is, Jaedong, in my opinion, doesn't even need that Hive tech in what he's currently doing. If he would have just produced a lot more Swarm modes, I think this game would be over.
Yeah, but you know, Koreans, they have manners. They don't go mass Swarmos.
Yeah, you don't feel like they have mercy. Like the way how he controls his Corruptors.
I think
with more Swarmos there, that 3rd base would be gone.
Of course, but I think Koreans, they're trying to save esports. Usually, you see like the Koreans, they go Swarmos. They make sure that it wins them the game, but they still try to win within 40 minutes.
And make it entertaining at the same time. Not
right.
Trying to like
tech switches, unit composition and everything. If you go 20 Swarmos or more, you're killing the game. But of course, it's equally effective.
It's smart if you think about it. Like all the money that Jaedong made in 2013, he's like, yeah, if I kill the game right now by just winning it immediately, what am I going to do in 2015? So he's really thinking about the future. I like that.
Yeah, he's always thinking of the long game.
I mean, he took the 3rd base down, but it just took a little bit longer and was more exciting.
Exactly. I'm properly entertained.
Elfi is actually ahead in supply with all the jokes that we made, but it's just the 6,000 minerals and the 3,000 gas that we had there.
Okay,
and
never mind. Oh my god. He is literally killing.
He's killing esports.
Elfi.
16 Swarm hosts and 10 Corruptors. He's like, alright, I've played enough with my food. Now it's time to win the game.
Oh my god, Jaedong, you dirtbag.
That was pretty. Like, think about Elfi's position. He was probably like, yes, I can do this, I can do this.
Yeah, he only made 8 Swarm modes. I think it's okay. I make him more Colossi.
And suddenly there are 23 Swarm modes on the map and 15 Corruptors. But that 4th base is going to die if Elfi focuses, which it doesn't really look like he's going to. Could still kill it, and he probably will.
So at this moment, he's distributing his fire to the Locust, the Extractor, and the Hatchery. Colossi are like, oh my god, they're like a mosquito. Every time they come in, it's like, one Colossus goes down, come from the left or right, keeps stinging at Elfi's army. Has used them very intelligently, I must say. There's plenty of people who would just, fly in the Corruptors, kill some Colossi, lose them all, unguided projectiles, but he has used them very well, and it has to be said, his micro macro have been top-notch this game, Jaedong.
And also his corruption. I really like that Jaedong is one of the few Zerg players that really always uses corruption. It's so important, and it's quite surprising how many Zerg players don't really use that upgrade.
They're like, corruption what?
Exactly. They use it maybe in one fight, but then they really neglect it over the rest of the game, and Jaedong doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Now he suddenly is up at 200 supply again with a massive bank in gas and minerals, and he's just properly maneuvering his swarm hosts every single time. And, well, the next wave of Locusts, you just look at that damage output that we see there. Elfi is melting away. If you look at the resources lost, it's just so much better for the Protoss player, for the Zerg player already, and that's not going to change.
We've got one Archon chasing the Corruptors. A fight he will win any day of the week down there, but in the meantime, Elfi trying to make something happen. No charge yet. He's sending some slow lots here to this base. Unfortunately, Locust will clear those up very easily.
And Jaedong is starting to take a liking in all those free units. He's like, well, those swarm hosts, those Locusts are actually pretty sweet. Maybe I should get a couple of broodlords too. I heard those broodlings are not too expensive either.
Yeah, that's another thing where European and Korean Zergs differ. Korean Zergs like adding 8 to 10 broodlords. And European Zergs like adding 50 to 60 Spore and Spine Crawlers.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, right now, Elfi is really trying to do what he can. He's now in 4 bases, and at least he was able to establish that 4th. So all jokes aside, he's really trying to do what he can and build up a composition that is very difficult for Jaedong to work against.
Another Swarmhouse donation. That's the only way you'll ever kill a Swarmhouse, is when they misrally and bring one in together with the wave of Locusts. Seriously, it happened twice now to Jaedong, and it happens to almost every Zerg.
How can he kill the Swarmhouse? Is it Tempest? Should he just go and try to move in at some point, clear a Locust wave?
If they don't burrow and they walk to you. That's how he killed.
That's the only way?
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it, I guess. Well, he's trying to at least get Swarm in now as well. So we have a few High Templars here. Jaedong is getting the upgrades that he's getting here. Is just insane. He's on 3-3 already and is getting +3.
Zerglings killed the third just now, sorry.
Yeah, with the run by that we saw there. Elfi's moving out to at least kill one of the bases that Jaedong has as well. And well, let's just keep in mind that Jaedong, yes, he has a bank there. He is running out of bases as well. I'm not quite sure if that's going to matter in the long run, but it's just something that I feel we should point out to.
Yeah, that's true. But, he can keep retaking the bases. Losing a hatchery is not such a big deal when you're the Swarmhouse player, because eventually you take it anyway, and eventually you mine all of it anyway. He's got a big bank of gas. No Vipers yet for Jaedong, which is unusual. Usually you also see Vipers with this build, but he's just getting Broodlords instead, which is of course great in a straight-up engagement. And he's morphing them right here. 7 Broodlords being made, in addition to the 6 he already has. This is an army that he can attack with.
Yeah, that's an army that is definitely designed to finally put an end to things and being the final nail in the coffin here. I mean, right now, Jaedong is really dominating this map with Swarm hosts, with Locusts, with the Broodlords and the Broodlings. He's moving in. There's no answer for the Broodlords. There is nothing. We have 6 Stalkers on the map, and that's it. 3 Archons as well. That's the anti-air that we currently have for him here. And there's just no way he is going to contest this. Jaedong is going to move this army to victory. There is absolutely no way for him to change things here. 3-1. The Tyrant wins again, claims victory here. Elfi is not moving to the camera this time because he's paying attention. No, he's not. but I think you didn't even see that. There we go.